To increase the success rate of 1v1 breakthrough. So what are some ways to increase the success rate of breakthroughs? There's a change in dribbling speed and tempo, a change in direction, a change in intention, and a battle of spacing. The change in dribbling speed and tempo is to go slowly and then suddenly fast, then suddenly stop, and the direction is to change the direction of movement or the direction of movement momentarily. And the change of intent is to change intentions momentarily when you don't see any intention to break through, such as suddenly hitting and running while trying to stop and pass back. Did you notice? I don't know if you noticed the repeated words while I was just explaining the success rate of the breakthrough, but you used a lot of these words, suddenly, and moment, right? Yes, that's right. The key to breakthrough is suddenly and momentarily. However, don't you feel that the dribble change alone is not enough in 1v1 breakthrough? Yes, that's right. The most important key in 1v1 breakthrough is the distance between the attacker and the defender. In fact, 1v1 can be said to be a battle of distance control and timing. What if the distance is too great? If the distance is too far, no matter how fast the attacker gets the timing, they will have a hard time passing the defender. So, smart defenders will keep moving backwards as the attacker approaches, trying to delay the attacker as much as possible without giving the attacker an advantage. But that is also a story outside the penalty box. In the penalty box, the defender cannot keep running back and delaying the defense. In the penalty box, the distance between the attacker and the defender allows the attacker to shoot easily, so you can't just go backwards and delay. Then what if the distance between the striker and the defender is too narrow? If the distance is too narrow, it actually starts as close as possible to the defender, so if the ball passes through, it is good to beat the defender, but the probability of the ball being caught on the defender's foot increases a lot. That's why the striker and the defender are fighting for distance adjustment and timing in 1v1 after all. The striker is trying to get within a winning distance, and the defender is buying time for our team members to join the defense by narrowing the distance very quickly or widening the distance so as not to give the striker a winning distance. But there is no standardized answer for this distance, because in general, it is said that the last touch around 1.5 meters to 2 meters is the distance to beat the defender without being caught by the defender's foot. But it is also good to learn this part through repeated practice because each defender's physical conditions vary and how fast the striker approaches, and what happens if the touch is a little long when the striker and the defender are fighting fiercely over the distance. It gives the defender room to take it away right away. Then, what are some ways to move quickly and shorten the touch? If you think that the foot you touch when you touch it right away is fixed and you only touch with the movement of the stepping foot, you can do it most efficiently. What you're looking at is a scene where you hit with a touchy foot. And the touch that I explained to you is not moving with the feet fixed as much as possible, but shortening the touch with only the stepping movement gives the shortest and most efficient feeling of sticking to the feet, giving the defender no room to attack. And I'll tell you a little bit more about the last touch. How should I start after the last touch and hit it? Yes, of course, it's better to be fast. Recently, however, I felt something after analyzing Japan's Mitoma's dribble. You don't start by hitting the ball from the side area to the inside of the foot, but you can see a lot of people touching the ball while you're running after stepping on the foot first. Just looking at it, it doesn't seem to make a big difference, but I think there's a big difference. In fact, it is said that there is a difference of about 1 meter per 0.1 second in the 100-meter track and field event. So, even if the reaction speed between the defender and the striker is widened by 0.2 to 0.3 seconds in the actual 1v1 breakthrough, it becomes quite difficult for the defender to follow. And there is a decisive clue, and there is a subtle atmosphere throughout the game between the striker who once started at an anomalous timing and the defender who was once pushed back. In other words, the striker becomes confident, and the defender has no choice but to react to the striker's small painting movements, small steps, small gaze movements, and very small shoulder movements. In this situation, the striker will be able to fake more and the defender will have to keep the gap longer, so it will be easier for the striker to hit the opposite, cut in, pass, and shoot.